morning, students. Once again, welcome back to the physics class. Today we are going to discuss, the topic is magnetic field at a point along axial line. Magnetic field at a point along axial line. This concept is similar to in the electrostatics chapter. Electric field at a point along the axial line. You know already what is the axial line means, I hope. So what is actually the meaning of axial line? If a line is passing parallel to the horizontal surface, that line is the axial line. Suppose this is the horizontal surface. A line is passing parallel to the horizontal surface means that is the axial line. Okay, so what is the axial line meaning? A line is passing parallel to the horizontal surface, so that line is the axial line. Okay, and I would like to tell one more point to you, that is, suppose this is a magnet. This is a magnet, and this is the south pole and this is the north pole. So as I told before classes, this is the magnet. Around this region, this magnet having some attractive power. So that how much region having that attraction power, that we should call, that is the magnetic field, correct? So this magnet also having some amount of magnetic field around this region. So this magnet having some magnetic field around this region. Okay, so here in this magnetic field region, I will place one more magnet. I will place one more magnet in this magnetic field region. Suppose I will place here one more magnet. Now this is the north pole and this is the south pole. Whenever you are placing this another magnet in the magnetic field of this magnet, what will happen? This is the north pole of the magnet and this is also north pole of this magnet. So what will happen? This magnet will repel this, because north pole and north pole always will be repel, correct? So north pole and north pole always will be repel. That's why whenever you are placing another magnet in the magnetic field region of this magnet, this north pole will be repel this. Remember that point. At the same time, okay, I will place this magnet and this is the south pole and this is the north pole. Okay, this is the south pole and this is the north pole. What will happen? This is the north and this is the south. What will do? This magnet will attract this magnet. Okay, this magnet will be attract this magnet. Attract. Correct. Okay, so here you have to remember, whenever we are placing another magnet to the magnetic field of this magnet, two things are happening. What is that? Here north pole is there. The another magnet also having two poles. So whenever you are placing south pole nearer to this north pole, this will be attract. This magnet will be attract to this. Why? For what reason this magnet is attracting this magnet? Because this magnet is placed magnetic field region. Okay, so this magnetic field region, this magnet is placed, so only this magnet will be attracted. And okay, north pole is placing like this side and south pole is placing this side, means north pole and north pole nearer. Always north pole and north pole, same poles will be repel. So this magnet will be repel this. So you can keep it in your mind, just the 2 points. Then we can enter into our topic today. Okay, so first of all, consider a bar magnet. Consider a bar magnet. This is the bar magnet. This bar magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole. Okay, so let us consider a bar magnet. This bar magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole. These two poles having pole strength. Two poles having pole strength. How much pole strength? Q suffix M, and here also Q suffix M. Okay, and the magnetic length of this bar magnet is 2L. The magnetic length of this bar magnet is 2L. We know already magnetic length 2L means here middle to at the pole, this is the L, and middle to pole, this is the L. So L plus L, 2L, that is the magnetic length. Correct? We know that. So here what I told you is, let us consider a bar magnet. This bar magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole. These two poles having pole strength Qm, and the magnetic length of the bar magnet is 2L. The magnetic length of the bar magnet is how much? 2L. Okay, 2L means midpoint to here L and midpoint to here L. And the magnet, otherwise, and if a bar magnet is placed on the axial line, if a bar magnet is placed on the axial line, this is the axial line. Okay, this is the axial line. On the axial line, our bar magnet is, we can place. Okay, so on the axial line, our bar magnet we place. Remember this? Now, let us consider a point C. Okay, first you can remember this. Suppose this is our bar magnet. Okay, this is our bar magnet. This bar magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole, poles and the Qm and magnetic length 2L. And this magnet is placed on the axial line. So whatever I told here, whenever we are taking the magnet around that region, some amount of magnetic field will be created, correct? No. So this magnet also will be create some amount of magnetic field, correct? So this much amount it is created the magnetic field. Okay, this much amount the magnetic field is created. This magnet is created some amount of magnetic field, Okay, now let us consider a point C. It will be placed on the axial line. Within the magnetic field region of this magnet. I will tell you once again. Let us consider a point C. It will be placed on the axial line, and within the region of the magnetic field. Magnetic field of the magnet, of the bar magnet. Okay, what I am doing, I consider one point C. That point C, where I place it here? On the axial line. This point is on the axial line only, and this point is within the region of magnetic field only. Okay, so I consider one point C here. I place it on the axial line. At the same time, this point on the axial line, at the same time within the region of magnetic field also. Okay. Now let us consider a unit north pole. Consider a unit north pole and place it on the point C. Otherwise, place it at point C. Consider a unit north pole. Remember that. Unit north pole. Unit north pole. Unit north pole means what is the value? 1. Unit north pole. Unit means 1 only, ma. Unit north pole means value 1 only. Okay. So you can remember that. Okay. Unit north pole. We are considered at point C. Now once again about this diagram I will explain. Yes, so you can listen clearly. Let us consider a bar magnet. This bar magnet having two poles, south pole and north pole, and these two poles having the pole strength Qm. The magnetic length of the bar magnet is 2L. Okay, magnetic length of the bar magnet is 2L. This magnet will be placed on the axial line. After that, let us consider a point C. Let us consider a point C. This point will be placed on the axial line and within the region of the magnetic field. Within the region of the magnetic field of the bar magnet. Okay, where this point we are keeping a axial line at the same time on the magnetic field. Okay, so this is the explanation about the diagram. Now, the distance between the midpoint of the magnet. Now, the distance between the midpoint of the magnet to point C is smaller. This is also our consideration only. Let us consider the distance between the midpoint of the magnet to point C is smaller. Okay, this one is small r. Now, please see. Based on this step, I would like to tell two steps. The distance between the midpoint of the magnet to at point C, how much smaller? Okay. Now, here to here, this is the small r. I need only this distance here to here. I need here to here. I need the distance. How I will find it? I know this total r. I know from here to here how much L. So total R2, I will remove this minus. So what will get? I will get this value. No? So I need only this distance. This distance. What is that? R minus L. How I got this? From here to here total R. I need this distance means. So I know this value L. I will remove this R minus L. R minus L. So remaining this only, no? And I need here to here value. From this end of the magnet to at point C, I need distance. How much? From point C to midpoint, how much R? From here to here, how much L? So this distance, how much? R plus L. R plus L. This is the total explanation about the diagram. Okay, now we should enter into our calculation part. Whenever you are keeping the unit north pole in the magnetic region of this magnet what it will do? Usually this is the north pole. This is the north pole and this is the north pole. Okay, first of all you can apply the Coulomb's law. Apply Coulomb's law. Okay, apply Coulomb's law. So, first, with respect to north pole, we can apply the Coulomb's law. With respect to north pole, we can apply the Coulomb's law. In between the north pole and unit north pole. North pole and unit north pole. See, whenever we are applying Coulomb's law, what is the Coulomb's law definition? The product of pole strengths. Correct? F is directly proportional to product of its pole strengths and inversely proportional to distance between the square of the distance between the two poles. Correct? So whenever you are applying Coulomb's law, with respect to north pole, what will happen? This is the north pole and this is also north pole. What this north pole will do? North pole will be repel this. Correct? North pole and north pole always will be repel. So this is the unit north pole. It's a very small. So this is the big magnet. This is the north pole of this magnet. So what will happen? This big magnet north pole will be repel this unit north pole. Repel away. Okay, so the repulsive force will be act in this direction. Repulsive force. Repulsive force. What is that? F north. Here Fn means a repulsion force with respect to north pole. Fn means repulsion force with respect to north pole. Okay, and right here the repulsion force between the repulsive force between north pole of the bar magnet and unit north pole. The repulsion force acting between the, okay, you can write here, acting between the north pole of the bar magnet and unit north pole. North pole of bar magnet and unit north pole is, now you can remember always the Coulomb's law formula. What is that? F is directly proportional to Qm by R square. Okay, otherwise proportionality here. K. Remember this. So after applying the Coulomb's law, some amount of repulsion force is acting. Okay, so the repulsive force acting between the north pole of the bar magnet and unit north pole is F is equal to K into, what is this north pole magnetic pole strength? Qm. Here this is the unit north pole, means what is the pole strength? 1. So 1 by distance, how much? Here this is the north pole. Here to here, what is the distance? R minus L. So R minus L whole square. Same from this formula only I wrote here. F is equal to K. K only. Qm. North pole of Qm. Here what is the pole strength? 1, because this is the unit north pole. Okay. So 1 by, in the place of R square, here what I wrote? R minus L whole square. Here R means distance between the two poles. So here what is the distance? R minus L. North pole to at point C. North pole to unit north pole, how much distance? R minus L. Okay, so I substitute. And F is equal to, I told yesterday's class, I told you K value how much? Mu naught by 4 pi. Substitute here. Mu naught by 4 pi Qm by R minus L whole square. Give equation number 1. Mu naught by 4 pi. K value, you know that. Okay. And next one. Apply Coulomb's law with respect to south pole. Apply Coulomb's law with respect to south pole. Okay. Now what will happen? This is the north pole, unit north pole, and this is the south pole. South pole and north pole always will be attract. Correct. North pole and north pole repel. South pole and north pole always will be repel. So whenever you are applying the Coulomb's law with respect to south pole, what will happen? The south pole will be attract this north pole. The south pole will be attract this unit north pole. So the attraction force will be act in this side. Attraction force will be act in this side. Fs. Okay. So again, the apply Coulomb's law. The attractive force between the south pole of the bar magnet and unit north pole is F is equal to K Qm by, what is the distance from here to here? Distance from here to here, how much? R plus L. Distance from at point C to S, how much? R plus L. So same only, in the place of R minus L, R plus L will become. Okay. So right. The attractive force the attractive force acting between the south pole of bar magnet and unit north pole is F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi qm by, here r minus l, in the place of r minus l, what will become r plus l, because the distance between at point C and S, how much? R plus l. So here r plus l whole square, give equation number 2. Okay, this is the equation number 1 and this is the equation number 2. But you can remember, I need the direction of the forces. Repulsion force with respect to north pole, force is acting in this direction. With respect to south pole, force is acting in this direction. Correct. So here I need the direction. From the geometry, we know the coordinate axis. From that, we know this is the I cap and this is the minus I cap. This is the j cap and this is the minus j cap. We know that. Correct, no? So according to this coordinate axis, force is acting in this direction means, what is the direction? Force is acting in this direction means, I cap. This is the center. So at C, this is the center. You have to take, this is the center. Force is acting in this direction means, what is the direction here? I. So here, what is the force direction? I cap. Okay. So here direction is I cap. And this Fs is acting in this direction. So this is the midpoint. Force is acting in this direction means, what is the direction here? Minus I cap. So here minus I cap, equation 2. So this is the equation 1 and this is the equation 2. Okay. Now the total force acting at point C we have to find. The net force, the total force acting at point C is the total force acting at point C is, total force I need means, what I will do? Total force F is equal to Fn, otherwise Fn plus Fs. I have to find the total force acting on the total force acting at point C. That's why what I am doing, F is equal to total force acting at point C. F is equal to Fn plus Fs. I am adding these two forces, Fn and Fs. Okay, these 2 points I am adding. So we know the Fn value and we know the Fs value. Okay, I didn't mention here. This is the Fn and this is the Fs. So please substitute simply there. Now F is equal to Fn value, how much? This one, mu naught by 4 pi qm by r minus l whole square into I cap plus this value, mu naught by 4 pi qm by r plus l whole square into minus I cap. This is the Fn value and this is the Fs value. Okay, now F is equal to, I am taking the common mu naught by 4 pi. Mu naught by 4 pi I am taking common. Then what is the remaining here? Qm by r minus l whole square plus Qm by r plus l whole square, here minus I cap. Okay. Now I will apply the minus in front F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi and Qm by R minus L whole square, minus into plus minus Qm. So here I cap is there, no? R plus L whole square into I cap. Okay, now after that I am taking this Qm also common. F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into Qm 1 by R minus L whole square. This I cap is there, no, here. This I cap also I am making common, minus Qm by R plus L whole square into I cap. So here what I did here, Qm I took out, I cap also I took out. Okay, so here I is there, here I is there, I take common, I wrote outside. Here also Qm is there, I took out and write outside. Okay, now see here, I am writing here, F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into Qm and 1 by R minus L whole square minus 1 by R plus L whole square. What is the LCM here? How we should take the LCM here? A minus B into A plus. Okay, first you can take the LCM here. F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into Qm. What is LCM? R minus L whole square into R plus L whole square, and this term will go this side, R plus L whole square. Here minus is there, minus. This term will go this side, R minus L whole square into I cap is there, here I cap. I hope you know how to take the LCM value. Okay, so now F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi Qm R plus L whole square, A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB. So here R square plus L square plus 2RL minus of R square, here A minus B whole square, A square plus B square minus 2AB, R square plus L square minus 2RL by this one. How we should write? Can you know? A minus B whole square into A plus B whole square. How to write here? A minus B into A plus B means how to write A square minus B square. Correct. A minus B into A plus B means A square minus B square. That is a formula. But A minus B whole square and A plus B whole square means how we should write? Same only. A square minus B square whole square. That's it. Okay. A minus B into A plus B means A square minus B square. That is the formula. Okay. A minus B whole square into A plus B whole square means what is the formula? A square minus B square whole square. This is the formula. According to this formula, we can write this R square minus L square whole square. That's it. Okay. And see, I am multiplying this minus inside. I am multiplying this minus inside. Here R minus into in front of R plus is there. So minus into R square minus R square minus into plus minus okay, then minus into plus minus. Here already plus is there, minus into plus minus, so minus into minus plus. Okay, now cancellation terms. Here R square cancel, L square cancel. Now here what is the remaining here? Plus 2RL and plus 2RL. So F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi qm. Here what is the remaining? 4rl by r square minus l square whole square. 4rl by r square minus l square whole square. Now here I am taking one condition. Here I am taking one condition, that is, here to here this is the arm. Here to here this is R. Here to here this is L. R is more, L is more. R is bigger, otherwise L is bigger. R is bigger. So if R is very very greater than L, so neglect L. So from this step I am applying that condition. F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into qm 4rl by, here L you are neglecting, no? So what is the remaining here? R square and whole square also there. Whole square. Here I cap is there, I cap. Here also I cap is there, no? Okay. Now F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi qm 4rl by r square whole square means 2 into 2 4 r power 4 I cap. So here r, here r power 4 is there, 1 4 cancel, remaining 3 is there. So F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into qm, here 2l by r cube into I cap. Now after that I am writing F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into qm. After that I am writing here, sorry, this is 4l, no? 4l. Now I am writing 2 into 2l by r cube into I cap. Any change is there? This is the 4l. I am writing 2 into 2l means 2 into 2 4. 4l only, no? So I am writing like this. Okay. Now see here. F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi. I am writing this qm inside. So 2 into 2 qm into L by r cube into I cap. So here 2q into L, what is this value? 2L into qm, what is this value? Dipole moment, P bar, sorry, correct, no? P. So here in the place of this value I am writing P. F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 into this value I am writing P by r cube into I cap. And you know already, if I need to write any vector means what I should actually, if the vector is moving 3 dimensions means P bar is equal to P1 I cap plus P2 j cap plus P3 k cap. If a vector is moving 3 dimensions means, correct. But here a vector is moving 2 dimensions means what? P bar is equal to P1 I cap plus P2 j cap, correct. If a vector is moving only one direction means P bar is equal to P1 I cap, correct, no? So like that, here P I cap is there. Instead of this P I cap, shall I write P bar? Instead of this P I cap, shall I write P bar? We can absolutely we can write, because P I cap means this is moving only one direction. So instead of this value, shall I write P? So in the both P I cap, instead of this P I cap, I am writing P bar. F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi, here 2 P bar by r cube. This is the value of total force acting on at a point C. This is the value of total force acting at point C. This is the total force acting at a point C. Correct, no? This is the total force acting at a point C. But this is not our final expression. We have to find the magnetic field at a point along the axial line. We have to find at point C magnetic field, not force. Okay. But here you can remember one point. The total force acting. The total force acting at a point is equal to magnetic field. Otherwise you can write the total force acting at point C is always equal to magnetic field. This is the total force, right? This is the total force. This is the standard step. This is the standard step. You can remember like this. The total force acting at a point is always equal to magnetic field. The total force acting at a point is always equal to magnetic field. So at point C, the total force how much? F. So this force, total force is equal to magnetic field. So F is equal to B. F is equal to B. So in the place of F, we can able to substitute B value. So substitute here, B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 P bar by R cube. This is the magnetic field. Magnetic field, which term we can denote? B, right? So magnetic field is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 P bar by R cube. It is a vector, so you can indicate B bar. You can remember this step. Still here you have no doubt. I know that. But how I wrote this in the place of FB means the total force acting at a point C is always equal to magnetic field. Okay? The total force acting at a point C is always equal to magnetic field. So F is equal to B. So in the place of F, I substituted B value. B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 P bar by R cube. Okay, so in the place of F, I substituted B. In the place of F, I substituted B. Magnetic field is a vector quantity, so I indicate it as a bar. Okay, so this is the final expression. Magnetic field, expression of the magnetic field at a point along the axial line. Okay, this is the expression. Now, I hope you understood the class. If you have any doubts, means after watching the video, please ask. Thank you.